government officials, officials of the church, the Orthodox Church, as well as Catholics, Protestants, Pentecostalists. You had them gathering every night for several years.
For the first time in human history, thousands of believers and non-believers all experienced the same inexplicable phenomenon.
A sheet of light just out of nowhere appeared on the top of the church. And my sister-in-law says, "Look, she's standing there." She came down, she stood on the ground beside the church. And then she moved into the church, and then she vanished.
Many hundreds and then thousands, then tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people congregated there and for themselves saw phenomena and strange smoke and what looked like nearly luminous birds or doves. And this went on for several years to the point where, by some estimates, 1 million people saw the Virgin Mary in Zeitoun or some type of supernatural phenomenon.
Our Blessed Mother would appear 2 to 3 times a week, and one crowd was estimated to be as large as 250,000, including people of different faiths, Muslims and Christians of various denominations. On May 4th, 1968, while these apparitions were still ongoing,
I heard a man shouting, "I see, I see." I was told the man was a blind Muslim and the Holy Mother gave him back his eyesight.
I can see.
His eyes were opened and saw the figure of the Virgin in front of him on top of the church. The man was hysterical. He cried out. The miracle happened. The miracle happened. The miracle happened. I can see. And began stretching his hands, touched everyone around him.
One girl named Teresa Galila had polio when she was about 6 months old. She could drag her legs with crutches, and she was healed at Zeitoun. And I had seen her walking.
One of the most amazing miracles of healing occurred to a woman with breast cancer who came to Zeitoun in search of a cure. The priest found a bowl of tissue next to her bed, and she was covered by a cloth with the sign of the cross written in blood.
The amazing thing is, there is no sign of any wound or any opening or anything. X-rays, analysis prove that is free from cancer completely.
The unexplainable, miraculous events of Zeitoun, Egypt, are best understood by analyzing the testimony of the living witnesses. A study conducted by physicist Dr. John Jackson.
All the witnesses to the Zeitoun event virtually agreed amongst themselves as to what they saw. And so I think it's possible to construct what I would call a standard apparition of what had occurred. The apparition was self-luminous. Most of the people would say they could see some features. Virtually everybody said the apparition would move in a natural manner and it looked very realistic. Some people would say the apparition was bigger than life in terms of its size. What's interesting about it is that you had so many people who come from so many different parts of the world, really, coming together to agree that this is what generally people saw.
And more compelling evidence was found through analysis of the photos, which Dr. Jackson verified as authentic.
The question is, are those real photographs? What you look for in a scientific evaluation of these photographs are internal consistencies or inconsistencies. I spent a amount of time studying those photographs and I can't see any inconsistencies. So if that's true, then that would argue that the apparition was able to generate physical light that was able to go to a camera, go through the optics, record itself on the photographic emulsion of the film as a photochemical reaction, and hence you have something physical associated with the apparitions.
On the anniversary of the apparition at Zeitoun, Pope Kyrillos VI declared that this was indeed an authentic appearance of the Blessed Virgin Mary, whose silent message of love and hope had miraculously brought peace to the religious conflict within Egypt.
Something very strange has happened here. perhaps something profound. You might be dealing with a phenomenon that lies out of heretofore classical science, and we have to be prepared for that.
It was 1924, and Khalil Abraham was about to build a hotel in the spot in Zeitoun where the Holy Family was said to have visited more than 1900 years earlier. One night, as he slept, Abraham was visited in a dream by the Virgin Mary. "Build a church in my name," the Virgin demanded, "and a miracle will take place in the future." He did just that. Then, on April 2nd, 1968, the miracle took place. Two Muslim parking garage agents on Taman Bay Street in the Cairo suburb of Zeitoun saw a woman perched perilously on the dome of the Church of St. Mary. Thinking she was a young woman trying to kill herself, they shouted for her to come down. Then they realized that this was no ordinary woman. Soon, word spread that the Virgin Mary had returned to the Church of Zeitoun, built in an area that Mary had promised to return to after stopping at this spot to rest during the Holy Family's flight to Egypt.